Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I hope you're doing well today. I am having the greatest day in the world because I get to talk to you. I am here today, give you 20, well, we'll give you 20 tips and tricks on how to use AI and what to do with it. I'm not going to give you all 20 of them right now. I'm not going to read them to you because I respect you more than that. I'm going to give you the tricks, but if you want all 20 of them, you can get the printed copy just by typing TIP, into the comments, and they'll be automatically sent to you. So let's get started. We all know that by using AI, it is increasing, one, the time that we have to do the work that we want to be doing. And two, the biggest point is reducing our costs. I love it. It is making it easier to do things and reducing the costs. Tips and tricks. The number one tip that I have, the first one that I always talk about, is the fact that you want to do quality over quantity. It's not how much you give someone. It is the value of that. If you're giving them something that is going to help them now, that has value. If you give them something that's going to help them in the future, that can have value also. If you give them something that is worthless to them, you're talking to an accountant and you tell them how to knit a hat, that is worthless to them. They don't care about knitting hats. They don't knit hats, so that's not important. But if you're talking about the things that are important to them, then you're going to get them being interested. And therefore, you don't just want to put things out there, you want to put things that are going to help people. Yeah, the old "what's in it for me" with them. That's what you need to think about every time you do something with AI. Make sure that what you put out there is going to be of value. And a critical piece, you want to make sure that you are looking at all the different possible AI models. We have got, yeah, I think the program that I'm using now, I think I have got 7 or 8 of them available on that program. And I've told you before, it's a relatively inexpensive program. I get it for $10 a month. It's almost a crime, but I get all the biggies. I've got you've got ChatGPT, you have got uh Chad, you have got Genie, and you have got Llama. You have got, what's the other one? There's another biggie that I just totally forgot, but I think that there are either 7 or 8 of them that are on there, including their own, and it's amazing, and you can go from one to the other, and what I love about it is I can get an answer from one, and I wasn't the answer that I was looking for. It wasn't enough information. And then I will either just retype the question back in for another one, or I will just go to that the next one or whichever other one I wanted and have it answer that same question. It is amazing. Sometimes you want to type it in, sometimes you don't. Sometimes I do just to make sure that I've got the question in there the way I want it. And other times, yeah, I'll just hit the return again and it'll do the same thing. It's just say redo and it will give me the new answers. So you need to know what the algorithm is doing with that particular model. You need to know how it responds, and you need to know what the response is going to do for you. Yeah, this one is not what's in it for me, it's what's in it for you. This time, you want to know what it's going to do for you and make sure that it's going to give you the information that you're looking for. And you also need to be keeping up with all the trends in AI, along with the trends in your industry. And you automatically keep up with the trends in your industry. That's a given, unless you're not really in business. But I know you're in business and you're there to make money and you're there to do well. So you have I trust that you are keeping up with the trends in your industry. You need to keep up with the trends in the AI industry to know what is being done, how it's being done, how they're training the different models and what they're doing with them and what they'll do for you. You need to know what is there and what is not. So you want to be able to deal with what's happening. You I'm looking through and I'm picking the best ones. Mostly because I want that. Uh oh, it the critical piece one of the critical pieces for me is the ethical use. The ethical, moral, and E ethics, morals, and honesty are my 3 big pieces that I want to always keep for me. That's part of my being. I don't live without those, and you want to be able to ethically use AI, which one of the things that means is that if you are doing something with AI and you pictures that I generate, I will put on there, created by AI. And unless there is not a spot for it to be placed, which some of the things that I put on different places on the internet, there is not a spot for it to be placed. But because I'm doing things with AI and I am always working with AI, most people know that if I put something out there, AI had something to do with it. So it's an assumption that I make, and hopefully it's not going to come back and bite me because everybody knows that I'm an AI specialist, and therefore that's what we do. That's what my focus is. So you want to make sure that you're doing what is needed and letting people know what you have used of AI. Is this something you and I don't put down when I have AI rewrite something, I do a lot of my own writing. I write and then I'll say, make it better, make it clearer, make it understood. Uh, take the take the confusion out of it and make it more conversational. I will give it whatever instructions I'm wanting. If I know that I was having a problem with something, I'll just put words down and let the AI help me get it to come together. And that's an okay way to do that. And you can say, that assisted by AI. You're not taking it from AI. You're not using AI's words, but you are using it to help fix your words. And it may not fix any words, it may fix a lot of words, but you just want to be able to disclose that and let people know what you're doing. AI is wonderful for optimizing ad campaigns, whether it be Google or Facebook or any of the other social medias. It is very good at being able to analyze the algorithms and make sure that your ad performance is up to par. You want it to be as effective and as fruitful as you can possibly make it. And that's one of the things that AI, because it does all the data research and the analysis on it, it has that information. And something that I did this morning with AI, and I had asked it to give me statistics, and it came back and said, I can't do that. I don't do that. I don't know that. And I said, what do you mean? You do it for me all the time. please rewrite with the statistics. And it did. And it first said sorry and then okay and did it. And it's just you've got to treat it like you would an employee. And an employee comes back and tells you that they can't do something. Do you accept that? No. You're going to say, Let's talk about what, why, and how, and figure out what we can do with it." Well, in this case, I knew that AI does this for me all the time. And the particular model that I was using, it every single time is giving me statistics. So I said, "You did it, you've done it every other day, do it now." And I didn't question it, I just told it to do it and do it now. And therefore it came out and everything was great. You can use chatbots. If you go to my website will has this lady that comes up and she tells you her name is Susie, and it's Susie because Susie is my bot, and she will answer questions for you. And her name is Susie because that was the name that I always wanted when I was a kid. I wanted to be like everybody else, and there were no Joys. I didn't know anybody named Joy, and I've only known, I think, 4 Joys in my entire life. So it was very nice to pick Susie, and so I called my chatbot Susie, and she's on the web for me, and if you've got a question, she'll get the answer and answer things and do things for you. It is amazing that people are willing to talk to the chatbots and talk to the AI there because they can get information and they're getting accurate information. So it works really well and it can move people along, getting the questions answered, getting them the information they're looking for, providing them whatever you want them to be able to provide. If you want them scheduling appointments, they can schedule appointments. If you want them just to talk to people and refer the questions back to you, you tell it what to do. That's how it works. You can do anything. It's a machine, and the machines, as long as you tell them what to do, they'll do just about anything. So that's what you want to do, and that's what you go with. Uh, oh, the last one I'm going to give you is AI is going to analyze the sentiment. It is going to analyze how that prospect is responding. It doesn't know the emotions, but it understands the words, and it knows an emotional word, and it knows a frustrated word. It knows the different levels of language and the different words in the language that we use, and it will tell you what's happening. It can let you know, and that's one of the biggies that I use to find out when a customer or a prospect is ready to buy. That's part of what we do. That's part of what I've trained a Rev Turbo to do for you. So that's a critical piece that I think is one of the most important pieces that we can do. And you can set things up, you can do so much with the AI, and it's limited only to the amount that your brain is able to come up with and concentrate and figure out something. So all you have to do is allow yourself to think, and what would I like? What would really help me? What could help me? And then, worst case, I told you yesterday, you can do it over and over again. You ask AI for assistance. It'll tell you what do you need from me? What can you tell me about this? How could you help me with this? And it'll tell you. It will give you the answer. What should I write about this? How should I write? Is this a good topic for me to write on? And it'll say yes, no, and give you the whys and the wherefores. Is that good or is it not quite so good? How can I make it better? And it will give you the answers. That's what I love most about AI. It is so helpful because there are times when my brain, it's I've got a very clear brain and a very good thinking brain because of the vision disability I have. The brain is always there and has always been very high functioning. And what that does for me is it gives me the ability to quickly and easily figure things out, to determine and see things in different ways because I have to. I don't see things the way that you do. And so that gives me that ability. But there are some days when it may not be quite as good today as it was yesterday. And so that's what, when I'll look at AI and say, okay, help me with this. I need help with this. Please help me do. And it does. So it is amazing. And if you are frightened with it, do like we did with the computers when we first started using computers. The reason they put all the games on there, the Pac-Man, way back when, Pac-Man and all the other silly games, and now all the games that they put on the computers, the reason for that is to get people used to playing with the computer and realizing that what you do is not going to break it. It will not break. And so just play with AI. Let it know. Ask it questions. Get it to answer your questions. Get it to give you advice. How should I deal with this problem? No, not how should I. How can I? How can I deal with this problem? And what is the strongest recommendation you have? Because it'll then tell you, it'll give you 3 or 4 or 5, however many ways to handle a particular situation. And then it'll tell you why this one is better than this one, why it might work better. And a lot of it is going to depend on the people involved, what's involved, what it is, who it is, why it is, and where it is. So that's what you need to be able to understand, give it the information, and come up with the answers, the bottom lines, the alternatives. So that's it for today. If you want the 20 tips, all you have to do is type tip, TIP, into any of the comments, and the AI will send them to you, and you will get them relatively immediately. So, if nobody's told you yet today that they love you, let me be the first. I love you because you are you. And that is so very, very special. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being here. And thank you for letting me share this with you. May you like, share, and subscribe to this channel and to all of our channels and follow us. And we look forward to getting you the 20 tips, and anyone that wants the AI system that I'm using, just type AI into the comments and I will get you the system that I use because it's wonderful. So I will see you all tomorrow.